1019 WDET FM. I'm Tia Graham. If the buildings, halls, and walls of the Cass Corridor could speak, they would speak for days. The Cass Corridor is and has always been an important neighborhood in Detroit. From its well-known schools like Cass Technical High School to the historic Chinatown to dubbing itself a cultural hub in the 1960s, the corridor has gone through changes. For some Detroiters, the corridor, for a period of time, wasn't as easygoing. There were no joggers or outside cafes. The area had pretty much been left to rot, or so to some stories. Within the core of the corridor is Detroit's resiliency and the proof that art and creation shines through in this community. Detroit native Mike Targus is a writer and director. He operates Detroit-based Mack Black Productions. He also directed The Corridor, Defended, which won Best in Comedy at the 2017 New York Shorts Festival. This week, he'll premiere his latest short film titled Detroit Boy. It's going to be happening at the Old Miami August 9th at 8 p.m. Patrick P.T. Trainor is a carpenter and a longtime Cass Corridor resident and one of the voices of Detroit Boy. Mike, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Of course. So, Mike, we're going to start with you. First and foremost, I think I'm sitting in front of some of the biggest Cass Corridor fans, but let's talk to you, Mike. Please talk about Detroit Boy. Where did the idea come from?
Well, you know what? What's special about it is that it was kind of an organic thing in how it was assembled. We did a thing called the Cass Corridor Storytelling Festival in 2022, and we shot footage of all types of people. We have so much footage, and that's kind of shelved for the moment outside of all their wonderful stories. It was just incredibly inspiring, and PT was kind of our headliner.
Yeah.
And just told story after story and musing and, stuff that we had heard for years, since I had met him after leaving Wayne State and doing construction with him and stuff. It was just like this, okay, well, we have to find a way to kind of weave all these together. And, so then it was like, okay, so now how do we assemble Detroit Boy? And then we have our other voice in the film, Chris Turner, who kind of is the glue. So, that's how it came together with PT's stories and his, just everyday whatever levity and humor and yeah.
And just really quickly, Mike, staying with you, you also found success with your film, The Corridor Defended. Can you just talk a little bit about your time archiving, recording, and discussing the Cass Corridor, especially with large audiences?
Well, yeah, the Corridor Defended is, it's technically a work of fiction, but it's very, very based on my life and lots of the happenings. Dramatized, I suppose, or dramatized or whatever, I suppose, but in a very dark comedy type way. And, but that's kind of how us Detroiters think, comedy is dark comedy, so and it was interesting, showing that film to, like a suburban audience versus like a city audience. And that's why it did well in New York. People just were like, oh yeah, that's people.
That's the city.
Those are people. That's the city. Sometimes you got to run around. Sometimes you got to shoot somebody with a fire extinguisher. Sometimes you got to, it's like stuff happens.
It's so Detroit. You just never know the stories you're going to hear when you're in these spaces. And Patrick P.T. Trainor. First and foremost, why they call you P.T.?
Well, I'm Patrick Trainor.
So it just stuck.
It's a tag.
Yeah, right. Or power tool, party time.
Oh, see? It
prime
means
time.
It means something. So, Patrick, please describe the Cass Corridor before it was known.
So
as
I
it
was
is
here
known.
in 88. I came here in 88, and I moved to the corridor. And it's not Midtown; it's the Cass Corridor. And I'm a carpenter, and all my friends are artists and welders and musicians and comics and storytellers, just of stuff of.
Yeah, and that's just to put a button on that. that's what attracted me to PT in the beginning as a bro. I was like, all right, cool. You're telling stories. I can listen, and I'm used to not shutting up ever. And, and he could put an end to that. Oh, no, I'll tell you a story. And then it was like, okay, I can hang with this. Yeah. And then of course, meeting all his friends and all these artisans and craftspeople. And it was just like, but everybody had this artistic vibe to them no matter what they did, and it was like, oh, okay. The Cass Corridor is this like kind of like creative, cultural, special place.
Yes.
Very.
Yes. Yes. And PT, beforehand, you did say it's not Midtown. So
not to me.
Yeah. So
never.
And what is it about Midtown, the name, the idea of it, that's like it's a no for you?
Well, it's always been the corridor to me. And I know the person that created that term Midtown, and I don't know.
Just doesn't sit right with this area and the people of
it
this area.
It doesn't fit right with me.
And Mike, when people have described the Cass Corridor, they have described it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
How would you describe the Cass Corridor then versus now? So let's say you go back to when you were in you're out of Wayne State.
Well,
you're in the
it's
streets.
gentrified. Now it's completely gentrified. It's shoot.
It was a different ball game even then. So that's whatever, 99, 2000, 2001. I'm going to Wayne State doing the thing. And, it was kind of still in that in between where it's like, okay, it's not gentrified by any means, but it's like, oh, we have the Bronx.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, but like, let's say it's 2001, 2002, we have the Bronx. And I'm like, well, we're all set up here because they had just gotten Wi-Fi. You could fax from the Bronx. You had a notary
at the Bronx.
That's all you needed. And if you could, you could get copies there too. Char would get you copies. She'd notary, whatever.
Yeah.
You'd set up shop there. That was the gentrification. Basic Wi-Fi and some type of, whatever. Some organization. It was like, that was what we were dealing with.
Which is just, we go to the Bronx here as a team often. And so just to think, a fax machine with the...
It's huge. I got to send a fax. I think it was $1. And and then if you tipped well, then it was free.
I love that. And Mike, and same thing with PT really quickly to bring you in, because we think about some of the things that are happening. You talked about gentrification. In what ways do you see that? Which ways has it formed itself? I mean, you've worked on multiple business here.
Okay. When I first moved in, it was 1988, and I paid $80 a month for rent. Now, I think it would be probably $2,000, where I stayed in Brownstone.
Yeah. And when you think about
Alexandrian Street.
When you think about the changes that have happened within this area, what do you think, based on gentrification, has been lost?
Oh, that's a great question. I think
we're gonna have you.
I lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, Mike.
Well, whatever. What the gentrification? What's lost is that you don't have the people that kind of lived it and been through it. And is that what you're going for?
People that got pushed out,
Yeah, right.
I think a lot of people got pushed out just for that reason.
Yeah,
and the rising in the cost.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When it is such a special place, you hate to see folks that could actually use that, that super special energy and not have it at their fingertips. They can only come by every few months or whatever, to go like, oh yeah, I remember this place, as opposed to like
everything
being able to set up shop here. That's basically it with any. But at the same time, how many things have we fixed up around here? How we toot this neighborhood's horn like I have for 25 years. So it's hard to be like, yeah, we started it.
Yeah.
It's like we gentrified it by telling everybody it was
Yeah, and then we couldn't afford it.
Then it was cool.
And
Then
And
it was
cool. We're talking about Detroit Boy, a new short film premiering at the Old Miami August 9th. My guests are Mike Targus, writer and director of Detroit Boy, and Patrick P.T. Trainor, longtime Cast Corridor resident and a featured voice in the film. So, Mike, just bringing it back around, when we think about just your time writing and directing and being in the Cast Corridor and wanting to make sure that you preserve what was here. Can you just talk about what that preservation looks like and the importance of that preservation?
Well, the preservation starts with an event like we're having on Saturday, where it's a celebration for not only the neighborhood, but the city. This piece really kind of like epitomizes that ethos of the Cast Corridor that whatever we all know and love. PT embodies it, and you see it in the film.
And Chris Turner. They sum it up in their languages, on their terms, and it's very Detroit. It's very us. It's the city that we all it's not
know.
Just
and
Detroit Boy. It's Detroit boys and girls. It's everybody.
Gender neutral. We love it.
It's everybody.
But Mike, if you could just talk a little bit about August 9th at the Old Miami. It is a free event for those who are in the Cast Corridor or outside of the Cast Corridor who want to see the premiere of Detroit Boy.
Absolutely. Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. I just touted it as, hey, it's going to be a big Detroit party. That's it. I think in my Facebook post, I'm like, I want Chopper 4 over top. I want people stopping by, like not knowing what to do with themselves. But 6 o'clock is going to be our little, whatever. I've spent my time in LA now. We're going to have our little LA setup outside with our step and repeat banner and our red carpet and taking photos and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to do the screening at 8. So we kind of hang out from 6 to 8. And then we got DJs coming on at 9 afterward. So it's going to be a big, long, huge, fun night at the Old Miami.
We love that backyard.
Stop by, everybody. I mean, it's literally like, even if you can't stay for the movie, if you come after, you come before, stop by, have a beer, a soda.
It's going to be rock and roll corridor style.
Rock and roll corridor style. That's right, bro.
Cool.
I love it. Mike Targus is a writer and director. He operates Detroit-based Mack Black Productions. Patrick P.T. Trainor is a longtime Cast Corridor resident and a carpenter. He is one of the voices featured in Detroit Boy. Detroit Boy by Mike Targus will premiere August 9th at the Old Miami. I want to say thank you both once again for joining us on the Metro, and good luck with the both of you and your event coming up this week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
PT!
This is the Metro on 101.9 WDET FM, and WDET's listener survey is now open, and your feedback helps shape the future of Detroit Public Radio. It's quick, anonymous, and lets us know what you love, what you like more of, and where we can improve. Complete the survey and you'll be entered for a chance to win a custom WDET prize pack. Visit WDET.org/survey. Coming up, a conversation with Jalen Rose about his efforts to support education in Detroit with the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. You all stay right there. This is the Metro.